The following information relating to Ibn Masud and his character is taken from the website World of Islam. Ibn Masud was one of the 4 people Muhammad recommended people to learn the Quran from. Muhammad and Abu Bakr first met Ibn Masud on the outskirts of Mecca while they were escaping the persecution of the Quraysh. Muhammad asked the young Ibn Masud for milk from one of the goats, but Ibn Masud said that the goats do not belong to him and that it would be dishonest. Both Muhammad and Abu Bakr were impressed by his honesty. Soon after this, Ibn Masud got attached to Muhammad and became a Muslim. He then accompanied Muhammad on his journeys and attended his personal needs. He received unique guidance in the household of Muhammad. He was known and recognized as one of the most knowledgeable companions with knowledge of the Quran. Muhammad said, "Whoever wants to read the Quran as fresh as it was revealed should read like Ibn Masud." He was one of the 4 people the Muhammad recommended people to learn the Quran from. He even offered to recite the Quran so that the Quraysh could hear it loudly. He then went to the Kaaba and recited the Quran and got assaulted for his reading. He then offered to do it again, but the Sahaba said that what he had done was enough. Ibn Masud had excellent manners, and he loved to make sacrifices for Allah's sake. He took part in all the major battles of Islam with Muhammad. He was also very careful in narrating hadith from Muhammad to make sure he said the exact words that were revealed and didn't make any mistakes. Now we have a reasonable background of Ibn Masud and his reliability to Muhammad. Let's look at the hadith in which he mentions Muhammad's desert rendezvous with the Al-Zutt. "The Messenger of Allah sent for me. So we set out until I reached such and such a place, and he traced a line for me and told me, 'Stay between the 2 edges of this. Don't go outside of it. If you go outside of it, it's over for you.' Abdullah said, 'And so I stayed there. Then the Messenger of Allah went off a stone's throw away, or a little farther. Then Ibn Masud mentioned a group of male members who looked like Zutt people. Affan narrated they didn't have any clothes on, and I didn't see their genitals, and they were tall and scrawny. Ibn Masud said, 'And they came and started to ride the Messenger of Allah, and the Prophet of Allah began to recite to them, and they started to move closer and lean around me and get in my way, and I became intensely terrified of them. So I sat down, and when the morning light broke, they began to go away. Then the Messenger of Allah came back exhausted and in pain, or practically in pain, from how they had ridden him. He said, 'Indeed, I am exhausted.' Then the Messenger of Allah put his head in my lap. And the men came with tall white garments on, but the Messenger of Allah had fallen asleep, and I became more intensely terrified of them than I was the first time. Why was Muhammad meeting with the Jat men, known in Arabic as the Zutt? Why were these tall, naked men meeting Muhammad in the desert in the middle of the night? Was it to ride him until the sun came up? Was there a political reason that Muhammad gave himself to these men in such a way? Why was Ibn Masud told to stay behind the line, but not so far away that he couldn't see what was happening? Did Ibn Masud sit down when the Zutt men approached him to protect his own dignity? That's what it sounds like. This hadith insinuates a late-night sexual encounter between Muhammad and the Zutt men. For what purpose, no one knows. The hadith in question has not been celebrated like other hadith, and Ibn Masud has been denied as being reliable for such writings. Yet Muhammad held him in very high esteem. But who is right? The Imams, the Dawah guys, or Muhammad and Abu Bakr themselves? You decide. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to like, share and subscribe.